Hi, it's Dr. Cersei with your weekly summary for English 203. This week we talked about Geoffrey Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales. The work was different from the other works we've read this semester for a couple reasons. First, it wasn't set in the distant past relative to its creation. It was set in its present day, and it discussed the England that Chaucer knew quite well. Second, its characters were not all noblemen. They were from different parts of society. As we discussed the poem, we looked at its first 18 lines to establish the poem's parameters, natural and spiritual rebirth. Even as the natural world experiences the new life of spring, so too do the pilgrims feel themselves called to a spiritual pilgrimage. And ideally, as we looked at those first 18 lines, we saw that these two things, spiritual and natural rebirth, would work together. Unfortunately, the poet shows us the natural and spiritual worlds at odds with one another. The characters with spiritual positions are often the most natural. Thus, the wife of Bath and the partner are representative pilgrims because of the gap between their appearance and actions. The structure of their respective prologues and tales are different from one another, however. While the wife's tale reads like a fantasy or wish fulfillment for her own failed fifth marriage, which she details in her prologue, thus offering a sort of connection or link between the prologue and tale, the partner's tale openly contradicts the values he spent his entire prologue espousing. Thus, when he admits that he loves money, he then undercuts that in denouncing it throughout his sermon. Next week, we'll start talking about the English Renaissance, and in particular, Thomas Wyatt and Edmund Spenser. I hope you have a great weekend.